My sister-in-law wants to have a joint wedding reception. I stood firm and said no.
Just say no to.
There you have it, kids. A year ago, my brother, 25 male, got married in secret. My boyfriend and I were the only one of our friends and family who knew about it.
Secret wedding. Secret wedding.
He was only a few months out of a divorce, and I think he was desperately lonely. By the way, this comes from Deleted, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So I was actually living with him because he had begged me to come live with him after the divorce, and my profession makes it relatively easy for me to relocate. The sister-in-law, 27 female, Candace, was an au pair from China looking to marry for citizenship. They got married after knowing each other for 2 weeks. Oy! My boyfriend and I convinced my brother a few days after they had married to tell my parents. My mom was upset at being kept out of the loop, but I took Candace out for manicures and coffee to celebrate and welcome her in the family. It was weird for all of us, though, because of the secrecy and it coming so soon after my brother's first marriage. My mom asked me to ask her if she wanted a bigger wedding sometime in the future, if they should start saving and help contribute. Candace said then that she had never wanted a big wedding and that she was fine with the courthouse wedding. My sister-in-law and I are not close. I moved out right after they got married and found a job in a new city an hour away. And as I was packing up, she stole a bunch of items.
Oh.
For example, I packed up my kitchen supplies and I had a box of at least $100 worth of spices. My boyfriend was helping me move stuff into a van and we thought we'd lost the box. Then my boyfriend found it hidden under some stuff in the garage. She also grabbed some of my prettier candy dishes and glasses. I thought they had been lost in the move, but I've seen them on display when I visited my brother.
That's crazy.
Chosen to take that as a loss because it seemed kind of petty and could have been an honest mistake. But Paul and I have our suspicions. The issue. Fast forward to now. My boyfriend Paul, 33 male, and I got engaged. I told my mom and she flew out for a weekend of wedding stuff just for fun. We looked at dresses, tasted cakes at the cake shop, talked about venues and guest lists. We just generally had a blast. My brother and sister-in-law currently live an hour away, so they came up for dinner Sunday night. My mom was very excitedly talking about dresses, guests, and venues at dinner. Paul and I could feel jealousy just oozing off of Candace. She was shooting me glares whenever my mom wasn't looking. After they all left, I cried because I knew some kind of shoe was going to drop from her. Paul and I discussed it and decided to have the wedding at his family home back east to try to protect us from whatever Candace was going to do. I told my parents and they requested to throw a West Coast reception at their house the week after our wedding ceremony for friends and family who can't make it out to the East Coast but still want to come to celebrate. I was actually looking forward to it and thinking it would be sweet and low pressure to have some lifelong friends and family at some kind of picnic lunch, maybe with games and music and stuff. So now the shoe has dropped. My parents, my brother, and sister-in-law are having Thanksgiving together. And my mom texted me last night. She said that Candace is planning a wedding in China 2 months before mine, where she will also at the time formally announce her marriage with my brother to all our extended family and friends, who still don't know they're married. My brother introduces her as his girlfriend at family gatherings. Candace wants a joint West Coast reception with me.
That's not happening.
No, I'd just be like,
This is so weird.
No.
Yeah, first and foremost, no.
No.
Second,
no.
Why has nobody been told that they've been married?
Yeah, no one's aware about this marriage. Yikes.
I have so many questions on your brother's end that just...
Your brother is going through something.
I'm pretty sure everyone has questions here.
I think your brother is being scammed. Or actually, I guess, has been scammed.
I just want to know what's going through his mind of like, yeah, let's get married 2 weeks in and let's not tell anyone about it. And then let's have a celebration where, you know, maybe 3 months in, we have a marriage. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm livid and a bawling mess. Our ceremony on the East Coast is at least untouchable by her, but I don't want my first and only marriage to be in any way linked with my brother's second marriage. I can barely stand my sister-in-law, and our relationship is more one of forced politeness and tolerance than any kind of friendship. I absolutely do not want to share a reception with her. I just kind of need an outside perspective. Is this petty on my part?
No.
I don't want to be a bridezilla, and I would like for friends and relatives who can't make it to the East Coast to have something to come to if they want, but I don't want to share a reception with that woman. Is there any way I can get out of it but still do something for friends and family who can't make it to the East Coast? And there is an update. Literally, the way that you get out of it is by saying, no, sorry, that's not going to work. I talked to my mom and found out more information. Family and friends who can't make it to the East Coast have been reaching out to my mom and were planning to give gifts of their time and expertise for the West Coast reception, such as performing music. A friend is offered to provide catering at cost with food she knows I like. Another friend whose photography I've admired for years will be taking pictures.
Oh, nice.
A lot of that was supposed to have been a surprise for me. My mom just explained it to me so I would know why she had said no to Candace. After my mom said no to Candace about the joint receptions, good on your mom for setting up the boundaries.
Yeah, this is one of the W moms in the wedding.
Yeah.
Usually we get the opposite.
Candace changed her mind and said she and my brother will not be attending the West Coast reception and has been calling it a fake wedding and charity. She's also decided that she wants to attend our East Coast wedding, and she's asking either my parents or my fiance and me to pay for their plane tickets out there. She's saying that 2 weddings is excessive, and if I can have 2, I can afford to fly her out to one. Just say no. Like, just keep saying no.
No.
Just say, yeah, no, sorry. If you can't make it, that's, we'll miss you.
And guess what? If it gets to that point, just say,
yeah. My fiance does not want her there and is considering a list of ground rules for behavior, all based on her past actions at weddings
good
and
on
holidays.
Fiance too.
Yeah.
Good on everyone in your family other than your brother and your sister-in-law.
Yeah. If it falls on us to pay for their ticket out. Number 1, no insults or backhanded compliments said to or about any of his family or me. Number 2, cell phone off during the ceremony. Number 3, no unnecessary hospitalizations or life-altering announcements for 3 days before or after the event. I want to just say nothing to her about the tickets as she has not directly asked me. Then if my parents want to fly them out, fine. My best friend has offered to keep an eye on her, and I have seen her handle similar people very well.
This is crazy. Everyone's playing the part that they need to play.
I know.
Wow. I'm genuinely shocked.
Literally just the sister-in-law.
Even the brother-in-law, seems like the brother hasn't done anything, said anything. It's just sister-in-law.
Yeah, I'll take that. My other thought was to maybe try to do something nice for her since she kind of got a raw deal for her wedding, and I think that's what this is about. That maybe kindness from me would eliminate the drama to some extent. I doubt it. I asked my brother about it, and he said no showers or parties because he's embarrassed about remarrying so quickly after his divorce and doesn't want the spotlight on him at all.
So why do any of it?
Why did you get married then?
Hold up.
He's like, yeah, I don't want to celebrate my new wife at all because I'm embarrassed about marrying her.
I would be like, did you hear what you just said? Make it make sense.
He also knew nothing about the request for joint receptions and says he has refused to do a Chinese wedding, so I'm not sure what's going on anymore. It's not really a fancy wedding. I'm buying my dress secondhand, and my friends and I are making the decorations, and the venue is my fiance's grandmother's home, but it seems very excessive compared to what she got. She has been saying as much to my mom. It's just feeling like too much hassle. Should we just elope? But there is a second update.
All right.
So let's get into it. Thank you all so much. Paul and I have been reading all of the responses. We took many people's advice and are scrapping the rules. They were funny and interesting to come up with in regards to past behavior, but there would be no way to enforce them, and it would just give her more information about what petty things she does that most bother us.
That's fair.
True. I also talked to my mom and asked her to stop updating Candace with plans about the wedding and to stop talking to me about what Candace says. I told her it's been stressing me out, so she agreed to stop.
Nice.
And that has been truly a wonderful gift. It's like this heavy cloud has been lifted from the whole thing. Thank you to everyone who advised that. Paul and I decided our ceremony and the small reception after is what's most important to us. So we are putting our energy into planning that to be special and specific and meaningful to us. Our paper invitations are only going to invite people to that one. Brother and sister-in-law will get a paper invitation without strings attached. We're not paying their way though. If she acts up at the ceremony, then she acts up. Thanks for the stories and perspectives there from people. And we want to thank you for listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to the story. Any final thoughts?
Everyone sounds pretty healthy other than brother and sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like after the wedding, you really got to talk to your brother and be like, hey, what's really going on here? Because this seems all irrational and not you. That's the only thing. I'd pay no attention, give her no energy the time of day. She doesn't
ignore
need
her.
It. Yeah, ignore her. Get your things back, by the way.
Steal your glassware back.
Get your things back.
Your
Those
candy
are yours.
Dishes. Those are yours, man.
Yeah, don't let that slide. I'm sorry. If those are your things.
And then take pictures, have a little photo shoot with them.
Yes.
But there is a little bit left. I talked it over with my mom. She and her friends will plan and put on the second reception so they can be in charge of who to invite. I told her I'm not sticking my neck out either way in terms of how much of a spotlight Candace and brother's relationship is for that one. I told her Paul and I decided any extra attention or music or poems we get beyond our own wedding day is just extra, and we will appreciate it, but we're not going to be directive at all about that one. I was most stressed about sharing it because of the power plays. spiteful comments, and compromises I was going to have to deal with during the planning process. But now that I'm not part of planning, I really don't care about sharing the focus with anyone else. As is your right.
Yeah.
The day is about you and your partner.
Exactly. Do what you guys want to do. That it seems like you guys have communicated that to a T, and everyone's respecting that, other than just one person in the story. Even your brother is like kind of complying in a way. So just do your thing. Don't worry about her. I say don't even invite her. Doesn't need to be there.
I agree. But that's the end of that story.